Come with me tonight as we replace this water and fuel sensor on this 2006 60. Come on guys, grab your tools and let's get to work. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back Friday and sticking here with me. I screwed up. This is not a 06, this is a 2005. A couple years ago I lifted the cab, did some head gaskets, some studs, and went through the oil cooler and whatnot. But he has returned with the complaint that the water and fuel light keeps coming on. We're rolling with 145,000 miles, and the customer has drained this multiple times without getting any water or debris. So we're going to go after this water and fuel sensor. I don't really have diagnostics for this. I don't ever have any wiring issues. If you don't get any water or crud draining out through the water drain valve, it is most always the water and fuel sensor. And you're going to look at these two pins and see what they're supposed to look like when we compare and contrast the new one. Once those two little copper poles or little electrodes get shorted out together, then that's when our water and fuel light comes on. So you can imagine this being submerged here in fuel. Every time you drive and the stuff sloshes back and forth, all that stuff moves around in this little cavity and will short out those two pins and cause your water and fuel light to come on. So let's get this thing lifted up. I already got the hoist set. She's floating, and yeah, let's get to work. Alright, let's just lower it down here on the locks. Yeah, now we're safe. Alright, so let's familiarize ourselves with the area. I've already went and disconnected the whiff sensor and just unplugs, depressing this button on the connector, and it just slides right off. So when removing this, there are two tabs on, as this sits in here now, there's two tabs on this water and fuel sensor, one at 9 o'clock and one at 3 o'clock, and we're going to twist this sensor to break those tabs, and we're going to pull it out. So be prepared to catch any escaping fluid, and don't get messy. Alright, I forgot to show you guys, or make note of it, that the part number for your water and fuel sensor on your 6-liter is going to be that. I've also used the 6.4 water and fuel sensor, and it too has worked, different part numbers. But get you a pair of pliers like this, and just gonna have to weasel wobble your way in here. Doesn't matter to me which way you turn it. You can turn it that way, and I'm just going to wiggle it out, and it's just going to immediately start draining. Okay, while we let that drain, let's look at this sensor here and look how corroded those two terminals are. Now when we compare and contrast the new one, look at that, you guys. Real simple fix, not expensive. You guys can Google that part number and check out the price online. But yeah, look how corroded that is. Just nasty, man. Fuel looks nice and clear coming out. I'm gonna spray it out with some brake clean. But yeah, I'm gonna show you how to put this new one in. Take note too, see how that O-ring wanted to get start like it's coming off this, it's going to be removed. Make sure that's not stuck in your hole in your horizontal fuel conditioning module, aka HFCM. So it looks like we're almost drained. Gonna see if we get anything out of here. Looks pretty clean. Wonder if I can zoom in at all for you. Yeah, she looks clean. Give it whoops. Let me give it a little spray of brake clean here. Yeah. Okay. So now we get our new one, and remember, okay, so it was sitting in here like this. Remember those ribs, you can see them here and directly 180 degrees apart from the other one. So if you look closely, I wonder if I can zoom in on that for you. Yeah, you can. See that little groove? There's two grooves in there that match up with those grooves here. So what I'm going to do, get a little fuel on there. I'm just going to set it here in the hole like that. Okay. This is not a piece of metal. This is plastic. Be ginger, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and tap this whiff sensor in and not smack the connector. Keep going until it completely bottoms out and there is no more gap between the housing and the sensor. Now do make note that you have no more fuel leaking here because you will have a drivability issue if you have fuel causing aeration, because this is going right up to the engine here. So let's just spray off any residual residue. Okay, I got the fan blowing right now, so she's quickly evaporating. Okay, I like the way that looks. Now for good measure, if you guys remember in my last wiring repair videos, we're going to put some dielectric grease in here to promote good electrical connections. Again, go ahead and visit your Ford store or check online, preferably your Ford store, but check out XG12. It's really, really good electrical grease. Put a little dollop in there. Yep. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to push that connector on that new sensor and make sure we hear that that click for the connector. Alright, let's lower it down. We're going to cycle the key and just double check we have no water and fuel message in our IC. Alright guys, first key cycle. While we're letting that fuel bowl fill up, let's check our DTCs. Make sure we have no water and fuel stuff set. No diagnostic trouble codes, so that's good. Go ahead and give it another key cycle. Haven't seen any water and fuel message yet. Alright. She started. I don't see anything leaking, so that's good. That, my friends, is going to conclude the whiff sensor removal and installation. Oh man. Make sure to drop me a like. Tell me what you think about that in the comment section below. Subscribe to me and watch me every Friday for your Power Stroke needs. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next Friday, guys. See ya!